Travis, big game coming up this weekend, a chance to get into the grand final, but Drysdale have been your nemesis the last couple of times you played them. Do you think they come in with an edge?
Yeah, I think definitely they've got an edge. I mean, they've beaten us the last 3 times we've played them, and even this year, both games have, in the end, the end score, they've been pretty convincing. So definitely they've got an edge. We've just got to prepare a few things a little bit differently. How
do you go about bridging the gap? And maybe, obviously, you probably don't want to go into specific players that you're looking at from their side, but what differences will you have in your approach to this weekend?
I think from a back 6 point of view, we've got a few things that are going to be a little bit different. We've seen them twice now, and obviously their sides are different to last year's grand final side. But there's a few players that will need to play sort of a little bit more of a negating role, and I think if we can do that, I think we can bridge the gap and hopefully make it a bit more of a tighter game.
The performance last weekend against Queenscliff, is that as clinical as you've been for a couple of years?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I guess if you looked at the whole game in its entirety, you'd say it's probably one of the best games we've played. I did say that about our first quarter against Queenscliff when we played them at home this year as well. So maybe they're one of those sides that we match up reasonably well against. But yeah, look, we take plenty of confidence out of the game we played on the weekend, that's for sure.
Your skipper Tim Clark back in the side for the last couple of weeks. How close is he to regaining full fitness at the right time of the season?
Yeah, look, he's pretty much, from a training point of view, been able to achieve everything he needs to do. He's now got a few games under his belt, and he's not far away from full fitness, which is, I guess, if you look at this year against last year, he came in with no football for probably 7 to 8 weeks. So we're looking for him to continually improve his output on the ground.
Does that then mean that you're better placed as a 22 this year than last year?
I don't think so. I think it's a different 22. I think there's probably only 12 to 13 players that played in our finals campaign last year that were played in the game on the weekend. So we're complete. We finished in a different spot in the ladder. So I don't really think that's the case.
Is this the last crack that this group might have at it? There's a few guys that maybe you wouldn't say getting long in the tooth, but getting towards the end of their careers. Do you think you'll keep this group together next year?
I think keeping a group together in local footy is a challenge in itself, and I would say that this will be the last time that this group plays together. You only got to look at our side from grand final time last year to our final side on the weekend, and you know that lots of things do change.
Who's the most annoying player, and who's the prankster amongst the group here at Geelong Ammos?
Well, probably the most annoying is a guy who actually is not playing this year but played last year. His name's Andrew Nunn. Absolute nevis.
I'm going to put something to you that you might not have considered this year, but Damien Zaparenkov or Jason Tom, who would you rather have in your side? It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. They're completely different players. I think what Zappa brings to the table from an energy point of view is you just can't replace that, and we found that probably during the year. It's hard to replace. Jace Tom, more a deep forward, more a lead-up forward. So it's 6-1 half-time the other, mate.
We've got the Whitley Medal coming up next Wednesday now. Who's your best chance of winning it?
From a Geelong Amateur point of view?
From a Geelong Amateur perspective.
I'd say it'd probably have to be Anthony Fagan from our point of view, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's actually going to be a really good chance. He's my tip as well. Trav, we appreciate your time on the BFL Footy Finals Fix, courtesy of the Geelong Advertiser.
No worries, thanks for having me.